Everybody, welcome back or welcome in if you are new here. We're going to continue to talk about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It's gruesome, it's heinous, it's one of the biggest political moments of our lifetime. And I've addressed, of course, my reaction to it and what it means. I've addressed the disgusting celebration of his death on the internet. And I realize there's a different group of people that I want to address personally, as I'm a member of that group. And that is people who are leaving the left, or people who are even considering leaving the left right now with everything that we're witnessing online. I can't help but think that the heinous nature of the responses, the disgusting, vile celebrations of his death.
Hello， 大家好，我是利恩。随着 Charlie 克克被极左派一位与跨性别同居的白人 Robinson 这个开枪刺杀身亡之后，美国现在有越来越多的左派年轻选民呢，纷纷开始考虑转向往右派靠拢。那这些左派当中仍然有良心的人呢，他们有没有什么需要别人的支持与肯定，让他们能够勇敢的跨出那个良知的声音，在告诉他们已经不太对的在左派的这个团体当中已经不太对的地方，他们能不能勇敢的回应呢？这就是今天我要介绍给大家的一个知名网红 Amala
我太难了。
Amala Ekpunobi 呢？哇，因为他的名字实在太特别、太难念了我们就简单称 Amala。Amala 呢，他是一个尼日利亚裔的美国人，父亲是来自尼日利亚，母亲是美国人，但是他母亲呢，过去就是一个激进的左派社运者，所以 Amala 他从小呢是跟随着母亲参与了许多的这些社运活动的抗争。所以 Amala 在这样子一个环境中成长的，他长大之后就担任了学生的组织者，推动了许多自由派或者说所谓进步主义的议题。但是 Amala 他自己发现左派有问题，而且他不是在查理这个事件中才发现，他在2020年的时候就已经逐步的在网络上揭露出他的心路历程，而勇敢的选择了中间偏右的保守主义当中。但是他也自称自己呢，并不是为了要支持共和党而选择投入到右派团体，而是他经过太多的观察以及思考之后呢，他认为中间偏右是最好的一个选择。所以20岁的时候呢，就加入了美国非常有名的保守派媒体 PragerU， 就是普拉格大学。我们之前在你是左派右派当中就有放2段很精彩的 PragerU 所出品的影片，非常推荐大家去看。Amala 呢，他就因此开始就公开的批判 Woke Culture 觉醒文化，以及身份政治，还有取消文化 Cancel Culture， 在网络上呢，成为美国人都非常耳熟能详的一个从极左到中间偏右的大网红。他目前的频道有270多万的订阅者，哇，非常的厉害。而他的 podcast 节目呢 Apologetic 呢，主打的就是不道歉说真话的风格。好，那所以呢，我们今天就要来好好的看他在 Charlie 被刺杀身亡之后的2天内，他做了一部影片，公开的在网络呼吁那些有良知的左派人士呢，勇敢的站出来，去舍弃掉自己支持的左派团体，邀请这些人加入成为中间偏右的保守主义者。哇，我只能说，通常像这样的影片，它会招致大量的左派网友攻击，这个是在所难免的。但是呢，在查理的遇刺事件，他第一时间想到的是重新对他曾经待过的左派圈子的这些人来喊话。所以今天这部影片非常的有意义，我们来一起听一听 Amala 他要怎么样的把自己的继承揭露出来，来说服这些存着一些美善良知的左派人士，动之以情，说之以理，来赢得他们的心，让他们勇敢的跨出这一步。我们一起来看 ，Let's go。
There's got to be people who are jumping to leave the left and saying, this is not indicative of who I am as a person. This ideology no longer represents me. And then there's probably going to be those who are grappling with the idea that the left no longer represents them, that it is no longer a part of who they are as a person. And they're starting to see the sort of fabric of their political framework or political worldview sort of tear and fall apart here. And I want to address those people as a former leftist myself. I went through that, my own journey with that years ago. And this, if you are on the left right now and feeling any amount of what I felt back then, has to be 100-fold, of an experience to what I went through. Now, I'm not advocating that people jump from the left and then label themselves a Republican or a conservative. I'm not saying that I want you to come and take on the label of my group, although transparently I am, I guess, center-right in my political leanings. All I'm advocating for is that if you feel like the left is no longer representative of who you are as a person, really consider that and follow that feeling. Don't feel judged into not following it. Don't feel as though you can't contend with that feeling. Have it be something that you truly explore, because I think this extreme reaction to Charlie Kirk's death, the extreme celebratory nature of some of these responses, is so indicative of leftist ideology. And if it doesn't sit right with you, it's because leftism does not sit right with you. And it didn't with me, and I'll get to that in a little bit, but I want to focus on some of these responses that I'm seeing that sort of sparked the idea for addressing this group of people. And if you are one of those people who is listening right now, who's contending with this idea, or who is already ready to leave the left, welcome. And again, not welcome to a new political party, but welcome to a space where you can think freely, you can speak freely, and you'll have hopefully a group of people who are willing to actually hear you out and who are ready to have a conversation, which is what Charlie Kirk was attempting to do in his everyday life all the time with Turning Point USA and with his visits to these colleges. Now, I want to get into my first video that I saw about a guy leaving the left. Let's play.
So far, I've seen videos of just the left being pro-unaliving political opponents, whether that be Trump, J.D. Vance, people celebrating what happened to Charlie Kirk today. It's just disgusting behavior. The fact that I have been a part of the left for 7 years, I never thought we'd get to the point where I would have to look at my own party and be like, oh, hold on, I can't support you anymore because everything that you are doing right now is against your political viewpoints and your values and beliefs. To sit here and promote gun violence against your opponents is wrong. And it arguably makes you worse than the other side, because you're basically saying these people deserve to be unalived because our political beliefs are more important and should stand and should have more value than a human life. Ooh. Yeah, that doesn't sit right with me at all. And there
you go. And I don't think it's going to sit right with a lot of people. It certainly doesn't sit right with me. There's a loss of humanity here. There's a desensitization to death. And even worse than that, there's a calling for death of people who disagree with you politically, which is something that I didn't expect at the left when I was on the left. And then I suddenly started to realize, oh, wait a second, there's something not right here. And he's talking about this phenomenon of, wow, that's really interesting that I can see a side that I've never felt I was going to leave start speaking like this. And I went through the very same thing. And when I tell you, I really thought this was a side I was never going to leave. I'm going to show you guys my arm, and I've done this countless times now. I have this fist, this little like black power fist that says speak above it, right on my arm, tattooed here. I got it tattooed years ago, thinking that I would always stand for this sort of ideology. I would always stand for the left. There was never a point in my life where this was ever going to leave me, so might as well get it tattooed. And here I am now. And it's because I realized that the side that was claiming to be tolerant was not tolerant. They wanted to claim that they wanted coexistence. They were not interested in coexistence. They claimed that they were anti-racist, but in fact were some of the most racist individuals who were just entrenched in some of the most racist ideology I had ever come across in my life. And then when there was a time to raise your hand and just sort of bring up these questions, not say I want to leave, but I have questions for this group of people who are claiming this bit of ideology and not living by it. There's no room for questions, only room for judgment, only room to be cast aside, only room to be ostracized and to be called a neo-Nazi or a fascist for even daring to question or have a little bit of skepticism to what you are experiencing. And that's what people are going to see now. When you see people calling for the death of somebody like Charlie Kirk, cheering on the death of Charlie Kirk, saying that more death needs to happen, and you want to raise your hand and ask a question about that and say, that doesn't sit right with me, how do you think those individuals are going to respond? Well, I can tell you, because I have more evidence here, more examples of people on the left experiencing exactly that and being cast aside. It's not right. And if you are somebody who's a leftist now or is no longer because of what's happened, and you're thinking, this doesn't sit right with me, follow that feeling. I cannot stress it enough, and I'm probably going to say it a million more times in this video. Follow that feeling, and you will be welcome elsewhere. And I don't mean you to be welcome to another community and another label, but you will be welcome in a space outside of the space of extreme vitriol, hatred, and judgment that exists on the extreme left and in leftist circles. Now, I came across this young girl on TikTok who was crying, and she posts crying liberal tears for Charlie Kirk. Let's see the video.
Charlie Kirk just got shot in Utah, and I wasn't expecting to feel. I didn't feel this way until I saw the video of it happen. Charlie Kirk is a dumb f***ing idiot who says dumb f***ing things, but oh my god. I just really don't understand, like, we've come to this, like, place of horrific political violence.
Okay, so there you go. You kind of get the gist of this video. She's getting thousands of comments of people like saying, are you serious? How are you crying for a neo-Nazi? Are you crying for a fascist? How dare you cry for somebody like Charlie Kirk? Which is the left responding to her, and somebody who is admittedly saying, I'm a liberal, but I'm crying tears for Charlie Kirk, and I don't agree with him. She even calls him like a dumbass or something like that. I don't agree with him. But political violence is political violence, and I do not accept that. It doesn't sit right with me. And leftists are hopping in her comment section to attack her and ask her if she's serious for crying at just destruction, the destruction of somebody's life, the destruction of two children's lives, the destruction of his wife Erica's life. Are we being serious right now? And I think the realization is going to set in that this is not just a fluke. This is not some moment of the loss of dignity on the left. This is indicative of leftist ideology to its very core. This is how leftism responds to something like this. This is how leftism actually calls for something like this. And I hope the realization is made far and wide, because there are plenty of free-thinking, open conversational people who are ready to accept and have discussions with leftists who are ready to leave, or at the very least, ready to vocalize their skepticism and have a little bit of a conversation. Here's another clip that's going viral right now. This one says, I quit being liberal, RIP Charlie Kirk.
Kirk got shot in the f***ing neck. That was the last bastion. I can't be a liberal no f***ing more. You see the f***ing comments? I hope the gun is okay. The same f***ing people asking for moral decency. I cannot in good faith align myself with you guys anymore. I once had a headache. You'll be alright. Cause you don't agree with him politically? Okay. Whatever happens next, in retaliation, whoever did that I hope they throw the whole f***ing book at you. The whole f***ing book at you. Why I did not agree with his views, when you put violence in the f***ing middle of the equation, all this shit goes out the window. Everything that you stand for goes out the f***ing window. Who's next? Candace Owens? Take that shit as a warning. Stop doing the f***ing public panels, bro. Stop doing all that. Oh, what do you think about him? These people are f***ing insane. Oh, well, both sides are... No, these people are f***ing insane. Dude, things are gonna get very... Do not speak politics at all in public. Do not do that shit. These people are f***ing unwell. Protecting f***ing dickheads stabbing Ukrainian girls in a bus. Protecting f***ing shooters just because they think they're the other gender. You people make me
There you go. I mean, a much stronger sentiment than the other videos that we saw, but something that people are feeling nonetheless. Okay. And again, I went through this journey myself. I was like scared of it. I'm like, how am I going to, I can't vocalize anything. I'm going to be so judged. And if I leave this group of people, I'm leaving everything that I know. I'm leaving all my friends. I'm leaving all of this stuff. No, it's okay. It's actually okay. It's actually okay to have decency in this moment and look at those who are being indecent and say, you know what? That is not who I am. And that's not the group that I want to be a part of. And you may not know where you want to be. And it, we don't even need like labels anymore at this point, but you can know that this is not right, that this does not sit well with you. And I'm seeing leftists who are vocalizing that this is not right. Parker, who's a young leftist debater I spoke about in a video recently, has put out a message saying, you know what, if you are calling for this violence or you're accepting of this violence, unfollow me. And shout outs to leftist individuals who are saying things like that, because it is so necessary in this time to call these people out. And if you're struggling internally with everything that's happening right now, you're certainly not alone. And it's okay to leave these people alone. It's okay to leave these people behind. It's okay to admit that you were on the wrong side of things. And that was like a struggle for me. It's like two of the hardest phrases, I guess, to say in this world right now, or I don't know, and I was wrong. Nobody feels comfortable saying that. And I will tell you wholeheartedly, 10 toes down with my whole chest, I was wrong, okay, when I was on the left. I was full of hatred, and nowhere near the hatred that I'm seeing online right now. I would have never said anything near what I'm witnessing right now from leftists when I was a leftist. So think about how bad it has become in the years after me deciding to leave the left. This is a new level. This is a new level. And if you're looking at this new level, this new human low when it comes to the response to death and tragedy and a gruesome assassination, and you're going, I was wrong to be a part of this group, by all means, like shout it from the rooftops and be proud to exclaim that statement for everybody to hear. It is okay to be wrong. It's in fact a gift to be wrong, especially when it's being wrong about something like this. And in fact, it proves that you are engaged with humanity, that you have compassion, that you have integrity, that you have a moral compass that is stronger than the judgment that is cast on you by the political left when you attempt to raise your hand and question them or to say they're doing something wrong. And I do posit to you that the group of people that is claiming to be anti-authoritarianism, anti-totalitarianism, anti-fascist is now cheering on the death of somebody who disagreed with them politically and is calling for the death of other individuals who would disagree with them politically. What does that mean for free speech, which is one of the first things attacked by totalitarian regimes? What does that mean about the congruence between their ideology and what they claim and how they actually live out their values? Do we really think that these individuals are tolerant? Do we really think that these individuals want to coexist when they are literally calling for the end of existence of people like Charlie Kirk, people who share his values and beliefs? I'm seeing them call for other conservatives to show up at college campuses so they can meet the same fate as Charlie Kirk. And if you're seeing that from a group of people that you once liked, once associated with, and you don't want to be a part of it, then don't be a part of it. There is just so much hypocrisy. There's so much hatred, and it's so saddening to watch. And I think so many people are feeling this in their cores right now. And I'm like re-witnessing and sort of reliving the moment that I realized the left was not for me over and over again in everything that I'm seeing right now, in every single tweet, in every single post, in every single video of somebody cheering, dancing, laughing. I'm seeing and like looking back on that time in my life where I went, yeah, no, I'm in the wrong room. I'm not on the right side of history here. And I'm certainly not on the right side of my humanity and the feelings that I have right now. And sometimes it's just a whisper in the back of your head. And it's very easy to shut that up and continue on the side that you're on and continue doing what you're doing, no matter how destructive or distasteful it is. But listen to the whisper, guys. Listen to the whisper, because if the whisper is telling you shouldn't cheer on the death of your political opponents, the whisper is probably right. And yeah, I don't know. That's really all I have to say. I'd love to hear from people in the comments. If you are a left-leaning person now who's considering leaving the left, if you're somebody who has left the left, either right now or in the past due to something that you've seen, what was the turning point, honestly, for not even lack of a better word, that is the perfect way to put this. What was the turning point for you? And drop that in the comments down below. Let me know. If you are a leftist who disagrees with the celebratory response right now to Charlie Kirk's death, but you still remain on the left, please let me know your perspective down below. There is room for conversation. There is room for back and forth. That's what Charlie was trying to do in his day-to-day life. That is what we will try to continue to do on this channel and with everything that we do. So let me know, and I will be reading that. And again, if you're leaving the left, welcome. I don't know what I'm welcoming you to, but a space of open conversation and free thinking. You are much appreciated here for doing something very difficult to do, especially in today's time, especially with how much judgment exists right now. And to the people who are responding in this despicable way, who are judging those who are leaving you behind, who are judging those who have their humanity intact, who are crying and sharing their sorrow, whether or not they agree with Charlie politically. You guys need to do some soul searching, some internal thinking, some introspection, some therapy. I don't know what you need, but it's help. It's help. And yeah, there we go. That's my address to those leaving the left.
在查理的追思活动当中呢，很多年轻的参与者就表示说，这个已经不再是左右之争了，而是善与恶的分野了。这类言论显示，很多左派的年轻支持群众呢，对于这种所谓暴力跟仇恨的言论呢，感到越来越不安，进而开始重新思考自己的立场。更不外乎的是，包含多家的媒体报道都指出说，查理遇害之后，网络上出现了大量左派人士在公开庆祝或是嘲讽他的死亡，引发了社会普遍的谴责。那这种情绪化的政治反应呢，会让一些原本比较倾向自由派的人开始质疑左派是否仍然代表着理性与包容。那当然，最后呢，我们之前是不是也放了这个6万人全部挤满亚利桑那的 State Farm Stadium， 好，就是亚利桑那体育馆呢，有许多保守派的重量级政治领袖都呼吁美国社会要重新找回道德的中心以及信仰的价值。那这些讯息呢，更容易引发了左派过去自认自己是站在比较追求人性当中道德的这个层面呢，感到失望。所以到头来呢，我们可以看到，企图去暗杀某一种声音，像是对 Charlie Kirk 这样子的一种灭口、想要消音的方式，其实只会让保守主义的声量更为响亮。
我不怕，就算杀了一个我，还有千千万万个我。
因为人类在面对不公平的对待或压制的时候，往往会更强烈的发出自己的声音，而这种被压制的声音反而更容易引起共鸣和支持。这也说明了试图消灭一种观点往往是最错误的做法。但是人呢，被仇恨淹没了理智，总是学不会聪明，总以为用这种动物性弱肉强食的行为就可以去改变人类追求文明、追求理性进步的动力。所以这个真的值得我们要思考，特别包含像台湾的许多文化上、政治活动各方面的论述立场也是一样。如果越想要刻意去消灭某一种声音的话，你会发现往往是适得其反。那观众朋友可能会好奇，那还有没有这些左派人士跑到右派的代表人物呢？有，特别有争议的，也是非常引起话题性的，那就是黑人的同性恋网红 Amala 呢，他就是一个从极左转向中间偏右的知名人物，而他是受到查理科克的鼓励以及影响，才毅然下定了决心，要好好的为右派保守主义发声。所以有兴趣的朋友，我非常推荐你来看这部